Every night, just as soon as everything calms down, it can get loud in our heads. Way too loud. We've all been there. I was in bed and looked up at the ceiling. I find myself mired in a never-ending cycle of thoughts about what went wrong today and what this could be a very tiring day tomorrow. Oh good, you're not the only one going through this. Thinking too much is like a cerebral marathon. You're experiencing an itchy spot that you can't remove. This can prevent you from sleeping at night and your peace during the day. But what if I told you there's a way to stop talking? Today we dug into those distracting thoughts. Stoicism, an old way of thinking. This theory remains relevant in today's world. Once upon a time, this was not the case. Just about past ideas. It's about real tools that can help us live a calmer, more focused life. So are you sick of having your mind wander? Join me as I discuss how to maintain control. What these tried and true methods can do for us. In our crazy world, we need peace and clarity. If you like what we're doing here, they have a desire to learn more. Please perform a small favor for me at no cost. Click that button that says subscribe and trust me, you won't want to skip any of this. Every second of the video is worth watching to help calm down your mind. Lesson 1, do something over. Study. You know those times when you're just thinking about nothing? There are numerous what-ifs and maybes. And hours have gone by, you somehow slipped by, and you've gotten here. Our goal is to reach nowhere. Stoicism teaches a powerful remedy for sadness. Too much study has led to this paralysis, putting action ahead of endless thought. Take a look at the Stoic teacher Marcus, who said, "The secret of all." The key to victory lies in how well it was clear that Marcus wasn't just he was about to contemplate his options, doing things that really matter. So how can we use this? It starts with realizing that motion moves by nature. We proceed forward, often overthinking things, keeps us from moving. Have you ever seen that when you finally choose to? If you move forward even a little, it's like you experience a sense of relief. Since action frees you, it breaks the chains of doubt and putting things off. Here is a story from my own life. I had this project idea and I spent for weeks just planning it out. I can remember everything. But guess what? It didn't go anywhere because as I tried to make it perfect, I was stuck in the analysis. Paralysis is as soon as I started acting everything changed. Small things like writing down some take notes or discuss the idea with someone, friends, things began to change. It wasn't, while not ideal, it was a step forward for Stoics. We believed we had control over our actions, but focus on the result was not always the case. Here's what we can accomplish right now. I'm trying to keep track of everything. What could happen in the future here? Honest, impossible. Everything you do teaches. You learn new things when you try new things. Indeed, we occasionally take on new tasks. Always be on the move. Each stride you take is an opportunity to learn and change and make changes. Here's something else to feel free to use: action feeds. Have faith that each time you take action, you demonstrate. Remind yourself that you can overcome your fears, you gain speed, and what seemed impossible starts all of a sudden to look pretty doable. A lot of people talk about Stoicism. Nature-based life is only learning and growing from our experiences makes sense. Don't solely rely on our opinions. So what? What small thing can you do today? It's calling that number. You've been prepared to send an email, but setting up your office doesn't. Tiny steps don't have to be a big jump. The important thing is to keep going. Don't allow your thoughts to hinder your progress. Seneca stated that things aren't as they seem. It is so hard that we don't dare do it. We don't dare say that they are tough by adopting the Stoic way of we empower by putting action over theory. We can live fuller lives with courage and a clear mind. Let's carry out those plans. Do something and things will happen. You'll be shocked at how much more you can do when you stop thinking too much. You're not that busy with lesson 2. This unique idea comes straight from the heart. Stoic principles, especially those from Marcus Aurelius, who often came back to he exercises to keep his pride in check. He wrote, "You could end your life right now. What you do and say should depend on that." I feel this was a warning to pay attention on what's important without getting they are captivated by their significance. Being aware that you're not that. Something unique and good, well, it showed to understand that the focus is not on our actions. As much as we think, most people, they are too busy taking care of themselves. Lives to worry too much about what. When we do this, it changes the game. You fully understand it because it means you avoid dwelling too much on your current situation. Sense of have you ever been hesitant to post something online since you were, I'm uncertain about the opinions of others. You might not have wanted to start something new. You should work on a project or look for a job because you're afraid of being criticized or failing. Everyone will see you and judge you. This is a significant awakening for the majority of people. After a few days, they won't even remember it. Everyone is too busy getting around their own tough times. This doesn't imply what you do or who you are doesn't matter. While you shouldn't strive to be the best, this implies that you may be able to breathe. Knowing that one mistake can make things a little less stressful, it won't be the primary focus. This idea helps everyone's attention. Remove the mask that everyone is wearing. Monitor our actions and evaluate everything we do, which is an everyday trap that hunts over thought, and realizing that you have worry is freeing, isn't it? So you can live your life, choice, and even make a mistake now and then, and the world won't fall apart. You can experiment and learn how to living without having to carry the heavy weight of constant scrutiny. And this is where Stoicism truly comes into play. Idea down, it teaches us to be humble, and how important is it to focus. You should strive to improve yourself for your own sake, either for applause or fear of being criticized. Marcus Aurelius believed that people should aspire to being ethical and honest with yourself is important. Live for the outside. Proof. So the next time you find you think too much about how other people feel, consider reviewing the memories you have. You're not that outstanding at this lesson, the world's eyes, and that's a good thing, that you are free to live your life more fully and honestly. Avoid excessive concern over minor details. This decision isn't meant to diminish your worth. It's about having faith that the attention isn't always on you, and that's okay. Feel better and use that space to think about what spending time with your family truly matters to you. Realize your feelings and let the small things go. Don't worry if you liked our movie. Please leave a review and subscribe on YouTube. I am aware that this kind of material helps. We can continue our journey as long as there are people like you. There should be more movies like this in the future. If you're uncertain about what to say in the future, just write tick and tell me to show that. You have gone beyond our lesson. Lesson 3. Comparison steals. Joy arises when we consistently focus on ourselves. Other people, whether it's their wins, how they look, or even how they use social media, we set ourselves up for posts. Unhappy. It's like we're keeping track of how much our lives are worth when measured by a yardstick. This varies constantly depending on the individual we're judging ourselves against. For a while, the Stoics placed a strong emphasis on concentration, on things we can control, and other definitely not in our people's lives. Control Epictetus famously said, "Pay attention to understand what you can handle and what you don't. You using your energy makes it impossible. Focusing on other people wastes that valuable resource, your attention, on what you can't change. Or let me illustrate this for you. I want you to picture yourself having a really good morning. You're proud of what? No matter how big or small, what you've done is important. Small, you go to Instagram or on Facebook, you unexpectedly come across someone. Another highlight, genuine holidays are ideal. Homes, your accomplishments suddenly become your own victories, do not feel important anymore. That's the trap of when we compare what the Stoics teach us, we should base our sense of self-worth on our own values, and growth are not synonymous. Others, this isn't just about how you feel. Better, it's about a big change it's how we see happiness and success, about proving yourself internally instead of exterior. When you follow this rule, you alter your perspective. From personal growth to competition, you feel free when you stop. Through comparisons, you begin to value yourself more. I am on my own journey with all of its ups and downs. You start to see how special your life is. It's a journey, not a competition with others. L's milestones. This way of thinking lets you to enjoy your own successes without the shape of someone else's accomplishments that turn down your light, if you have the ability to change yourself. Think about things in terms of thinking about yourself will help you find that joy. Will start to come more easily to you. Take time to appreciate the positive things in your life. I don't feel the need to stack them up against anyone else's, so the next. Whenever you feel like you're going toward the compare everything, step back and remember, understand that your worth is not static by how you compare to other people, but you can align your life with your personal values. Ideas and work to change that. Refocusing on your personal objectives is crucial. Trust me, this is a game Share is in. Beating overthinking and really experiencing happiness in your own special way. Part 4 of the journey, the pursuit of perfection. Myth, the search for perfection can be never-ending. Drive that sadly leads not for more success, but for more. Being unhappy and unable to act when we set impossible goals for ourselves. Every mistake or failure can feel like a big deal, like a terrible loss. It's recipe for long-term stress and thinking too much about the Stoics. They truly understood this. They imparted their knowledge to us, which was trying to be great. In the word perfect and whole refers to this, is not only not possible, but also too much. Seneca. To put it this way, minds suffer more often than bodies. He was truly grasping the concept. Our search for a made-up state of perfectionism causes us a tremendous deal of stress. Instead of focusing on the actual imperfections of life, just think about how often that happens. Has getting something been a pain for you? Just right, only to find out that you were experiencing more stress at work than before. The end result, justified Stoicism, urges us to accept not seeing flaws as flaws but as a being human is a crucial aspect. Accept that we are natural. Despite the flaws, we can overcome them. Unrealistic expectations bind us, leads to endless cycles of thinking. Too much about this doesn't mean you shouldn't try to get better or grow quiet. In the opposite, it means that we see improvements as a process that never ends and full of things I've learned from, slip-ups and mistakes. Imagine if you could learn a new skill or start a new job. Remember, errors are more than just what you expected is actually useful. You'd be much more eager to start. We need to devise and implement a fresh idea. Risks. This is the freedom that is being turned down. The concept of perfection inspires us. The conservative way of life teaches us that every being flawed is a chance to learn. Marcus Aurelius penned the piece that marked the end. Action propels progress. What stands in the way? The path transforms into the direction he instructs us to take. that the problems, those flaws and backward steps aren't just problems for overcame. They are important parts of the journey that makes us grow, and as we go on, let's try to get better. We should redirect our focus instead of searching. Ideals. Let's strive for progress. Happy birthday to the small victories and achievements. Big ones. You know that every step forward is important. Let's learn to see there's beauty in the broken because the flaws that make us unique. Our lives are full of real events, let go of the myth. Try to be perfect, and you'll see that not only are you cutting down on overthinking, it also opens up a completely new world, chances where growth is a pleasure. Allowed Lesson 5, your feelings are not yours. Indeed, it's simple to let go our thoughts, but it's important to remember that how we feel affects what we do. Don't always portray the truth of our situation. The lessons of Stoicism teach us this. Even though feelings are a normal part of our lives, human experience shouldn't tell us what to do, choices we make or how we see the world. This thought has its roots in the Stoic thinkers taught things like Marcus Aurelius, who told us to take a step back and look at our impressions. We should examine whether they are founded on fact or if we're letting our feelings get in the way. Make up our minds, he famously said. Control your mind, not the outside world. Events. Know this, and you'll find strength. When was the last time feelings too strong for you? Maybe you were scared about a big meeting or a fight with a friend has angered me. During those times, our feelings can feel taking over as if they define the whole truth. But here's the thing, as time goes on, feelings come and go, and they can trick us into underestimating how important what right now we're experiencing a sense of severity. You don't have to hold back it's more about not letting your feelings get in the way. Let them rule you. It's about you can detach yourself at a certain level. Recognize how you feel without letting them cloud your judgment is what the Stoics really mean. It's about being positive and having a positive life. Taking on life's problems instead of letting your feelings guide you. So let's say you're really sad, you didn't get a job, so talk to for the first. Emotional. One answer could be to believe you're not good enough or you'll never find a job you love. But if you if you take a step back and use your brain, you might be able that this refusal might be and have the opportunity to consider alternative options. Places where you can improve your getting better at interviews by not letting your initial feelings shape your world. You let more in. Constructive and effective ways to go. Practice. This can begin with just the next time you feel like if you feel upset, take a deep breath and think about what my response is based on. Truth or my understanding of is there another way to look at this? Often taking a moment can be beneficial. This will prevent you from going down a bad path. Overthinking and help you get things more often. Epictetus taught us that it's logical. It's not the events that bother me, not them, but how we see them. So by our point of view, by asking the truth of our emotional reactions, we can change the good and bad things in our lives and downs, but that doesn't mean we shrug off you should manage your thoughts in a specific manner. This provides us with the knowledge to respond. And clarity lesson 6. Take a break. Stoicism teaches us that no matter what happens, a lot of our pain comes from holding on. We hold on tight to results we can't change. Do not forget what the Stoics stand for, telling the difference between what's in charge and what's outside of it, and while we can alter results that are beyond our control, fully control them, Epictetus famously said that we can change some things, and some people fail to recognize this basic truth. Think with a calm and strong heart. As you work on a project, having a personal goal can help you in many ways. Focused only on the result, a small loss can feel like a big one, and this obsession can lead to a terrible outcome, stress and sadness all the time. Because, to be honest, we just can't because of different factors. Guess or control, but what if changed your focus from what would happen to the task itself is to visualize the freedom and happiness in knowing that your self-worth isn't based on how well you do, of what you did, as well as the quality and purpose of this is the definition of separation. Outcomes. It's not that they don't care, it's not about success. Set by them. Let's use this to something real, like beginning anew. If you focus on a diet or exercise plan, focusing only on losing a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time, you're setting yourself up to be angry, and instead of possible failure, if you concentrate on choosing healthier foods. If you're enjoying your workouts, you make progress. Pay attention to the process you begin, appreciating the daily gains. In these directly affect your energy and mood. The effects of what you do are things you can control. It's then easier to keep the weight off. Positive side effects are not the only ones. How big this tough way of thinking helps build success. Maintaining resilience when achieving results is not the ultimate objective. Less damage is done to everything. It's scary that they're just part of the journey, chances to learn and grow. Change this way of thinking leads to a more long-lasting drive because it's built on what you're doing now. Avoid aiming for a distant objective that could be challenging to achieve. Besides, separating from results it is important to pay more attention and be present. The task at hand helps you're striving to enhance your skills. Worry is not impeding the movement. Ultimately, this can result in improved outcomes, which is funny because when you work from a place, engaging and being authentic are more important than fear. So let's give it another shot as we proceed. To put this into action, pay attention to your steps for life according to maintain your morals and strive to excel in each one of them. Moment. Trust that this will lead to the things will work out on their own. In any case, keep in mind that Marcus Aurelius only advised doing the right thing. The rest doesn't matter, it's just a freedom-giving way to live, and it stops you from thinking too much, and not needed. Lesson 7. Focus on the present is all you. It's simple to get sucked into. You experience negative emotions or worry about the past. What will happen? But Stoicism teaches us that we can only make changes in real time. What kind of person is Marcus Aurelius now? Someone who supported this idea wrote, "Confine." Bring yourself to the present and observe his actions, telling us is simple but deep. Crucially, we cannot alter the past. The future is unknown, but the present is clear. This is where we live and what we think about. How often do you consider the future? It could be the past or the future. Going over a fight you had last. Are you worrying about something coming up this week? By the due date, these ideas aren't they are annoying, draining, and pulling. We are guiding you away from the present moment. Your ability to pay attention to what you're in fact doing, and lowering your taking on effectiveness and happiness. Being in the present moment means actively participating, concentrating on the present moment. This doesn't mean you should ignore don't learn from the past or make plans for the future. In the future, it means that you don't let those things get in the way. What is the essence of your current experience? Keeping awareness in check and not letting it one feature that takes away from one more time. Let's say you're out with friends. You're having fun with a friend, but practicing a talk for work. By not being fully present tomorrow, don't enjoy the depths of interaction, and strangely enough, I'm not helping you prepare too much. As focus that is spread out rarely leads to good results, but if you consciously choose to spend time fully with your friend. You improve the situation. A lot of the time the information is clearer and better prepared when the time comes. Pay attention to your work. Being present can begin with something like as easy as taking mindful breaths whenever your thoughts keep going back to the past. Alternatively, to anticipate the future, take a few deep breaths, then look around. What you see, hear, smell and touch is important. The ground below you and the air on your skin. This isn't just about your feet. Getting physically grounded is what it's all about. Being reminded that life takes place in the now comes the tough task of mindfulness. Being present also fosters gratitude in others. Being fully present makes you more likely to enjoy the little things and wins that you might not have otherwise. Remember, this can lead to a deeper understanding. Thanks for your life the way it is. It can be as you desire or as you fear it will be. Could turn into, so let's try to bring, we are returning our focus to the current moment. Whenever we notice something veering off course, keep this in mind. Every second you worry about that you can't go back or forward in time. The present is your reality. The performance is underway. Marcus Aurelius told us that you can do this. Live a full and active life in the world. Act instead of simply being present. There are people who are changing our lives moment by moment. By living in the present moment by moment, we accept life as it is. We can handle worry, better enjoy our events, more and feel at peace with your life that comes from being sure we're living. This is more than just being present. It's a powerful presence. Lesson in Stoicism that not only overthinking, but it makes our whole, let's enjoy our lives to the fullest right now. That's all we really have, and that's it. As we examine the potential of Stoic knowledge, change the way we live and think. Remember that you get to choose every time. Being aware and present is a step toward, I am grateful for the opportunity to live a fuller life. Socrates told me to tell everyone. Your help and participation are really thank you if you found value in what I said. We talked about it today. Please take a look at one. The screen displays a list of videos. Keep going on your path to Stoicism. Being there and getting involved mean the world to us. Until the next time, live fully and think carefully.